protest because the teachers were complaining about getting headaches, where the children experiencing. In that first week after the spill, there were several students who did go home because of vomiting and headaches and various symptoms. And April and I actually were in the area several times in the weeks after the spill, and we would drive by the school and take pictures and see children out at recess holding their nose and looking really sad like they didn't want to be out there. And we ourselves, just driving around in the community, we're getting a headache just from driving around. So I cannot imagine what these children were going through and are still going through. And so that's something to think about. I actually stood down on the corner next to Mayflower Elementary with a sign that outlined the health effects because I felt I had to resort to some corner protesting because there are the state agencies and Exxon, nobody is informing the people in the community about these health effects at all. So that's really why our group, Faulkner County Citizens Advisory Group, has stepped up to educate the people down there because it's really just an atrocity. So I'm going to end you with what can we do? And you saw with Phil McKibben's video there are several things we can do, but one of the things I'm emphasizing more recently is a philosophy from a friend of mine who it's called ecological responsibility. So a new era we're trying to enter into. Where we can recognize and respond with whatever abilities we have and bring those to the table. So, if you're a scientist, bring that ability. If you're a filmmaker, bring that ability. But there are a lot of people who they don't know what their abilities are. They don't think they have a skill or an expertise. So, as I point out, use your empathy and your love that's innate. That can be a really handy tool. And if you use that, you're not going to go wrong. So, one of the ways we're responding with our abilities is by conducting some of our own air sampling. And April is going to come and talk about that.
Before you leave, could I ask just one question?
Yes.
Or actually two questions.
Yes.
We were down there for the Earth Day presentation that you did, and it was excellent. I don't remember whether it was Dirk or one of you or one of the other presenters, but I remember somebody mentioning that not only had there been sampling done in the lake, but actually there was some sampling in the Arkansas River that was indicating that some of these pollutants had migrated into the Arkansas River. Could you comment on that?
Yes,
whether that's
absolutely.
the case? And then there's one other question. Go ahead.
Okay. The results of those independent tests will be coming out this week. And yes, there were compounds found in the lake, in Delphi, that leads to Plum Creek, that leads to the Arkansas River, and down towards the Arkansas River, it was found.
And those are blueprinted to know that they are from
yes.
that spill.
Yes, and that information will be coming out this week.
Good.
And another thing that was pointed out, we had a forum blog, had a Democrat, our local paper in Conway, and they invited several professors from the universities who pointed out something I hadn't really thought about. Even if the oil hadn't physically seeped into the lake yet, that just the wildlife would carry it back and forth. So that, someone could obviously get in a lake one way or another.
One other real quick question. When you talk about kids being out in the playground holding their nose and teachers complaining of headaches so they weren't going to have the kids, are you people seeking legal remedies and lawsuits?
Well, our group is not because we cannot, but we have met with the Attorney General and,
There's criminal negligence going on,
absolutely.
and the state and Exxon should be held responsible in courts of law for that. This is not being properly handled.
I agree with you. And so we're trying right now to mobilize people in the community to hopefully make some of those decisions and reach consensus on that. So.
Thank you.
So what I'm going to talk to you about today is kind of expand off of what Emily kind of talked about, which is what can we do?